A party divided. Has their fate been decided? Find out on this episode of The Hapless Heroes. Stop letting him know I'm here.
Hello and welcome to the Hapless Heroes podcast. My name is Dave and I will be your host and dungeon master for this evening. And we are going to start this evening with our grand tradition that we start with every evening, where I start by introing my cast, starting to my right with Francesco as the fabulous Felix Fizzlebottom.
I have a plan.
To his right, we have John as Lord Jarrell the Light.
Just you and me, Felix.
To his right, we have the triumphant return of Mike as Lord and Captain, Quinn Southwind.
What room am I going to again?
And to his right, we have Phil as Arasatra.
It's right this way, Captain. We need to go. Hurry up.
Now, where we last left off, we had a party ever so slightly split. Now, two of our folks, we had Felix and Jarrell. They're a little further up in the tower. I know what room I have it labeled as, room 2 in my notes, but it's sort of a circular room with 4 platforms, the northernmost one having been destroyed by one of those automata that you had fought in this very room. The other two of you, Quinn and Arasatra, are in the room with the levers. Now, were there any other things that we needed to keep in mind for this session coming in?
I did have a moonbeam that I was concentrating on when I leapt through the portal. However, I misspoke in the last episode. My Warcaster feat only counts as an advantage on concentration saving throws when I'm taking damage, not jumping through portals. So since I don't remember what my original role was, I'm just going to say I don't need the moonbeam right now.
Fair enough, because I'm trying to remember what the moonbeam was really doing for you.
Yeah,
we had destroyed.
There was no target-rich environment anymore.
No longer. But I can hold concentration. So long as I'm holding concentration, it'll just walk with me. But
I gotcha.
So we're just trying to conserve the spell slot. Yeah, I think we can let that one go for now.
Well, and I misspoke anyways. So these levers aren't going to pull themselves, Captain.
Right. The only other thing to note is that I had the Crown of Stars active as well, and I've used one of the 7 charges.
Yes, I do remember that. Okay, so we've got those. We've got the rooms the two of you are in, and we're going to conveniently ignore the last several weeks' worth of episodes because, frankly, you guys don't know about anything going on in any of them.
I literally don't know anything.
So all you know is that you have got a school full of students on the other side of that hallway with all the gates that are controlled by the levers. And then you're trying to save them by locking them in?
At least until the situation is...
Closing the blast shields. Close the blast shield.
That's how we're going to massage this. Okay.
It seems like the right decision to make because most of these students, while armed, aren't really very well equipped to deal with what we're dealing
Useless.
with.
The word is useless.
I'm just trying to be diplomatic. Also, I can't talk to you right now.
They were locked in intentionally. When we were leaving to go back to where we came from, more of those automaton were coming their way. So, like, we're not going to let a bunch of kids get slaughtered by giant robot beasts.
No, we're not.
That's not our game, man.
I'm still not sure why the undead want anything to do with this place. I imagine there's something they're after. not the school itself, not the people here. I mean, they are a wave of destruction, but what does this little island have to do with any of the continent?
Are you going to start pulling levers or not?
Yes, I've been doing this. Please stop distracting me.
So it is noted that you are pulling levers. Are there any specific levers you're pulling, or are you just pulling away at levers?
As I remember, the code, like up, down, left, right. So I'm just like returning them back to the original state.
To center, yeah.
Yeah, to center on the axis.
Okay, and you do that. And those levers have been returned to the center. You don't hear any particular sounds, but I don't recall you having heard any particular sounds when you did it the first time. So, and the display at the end goes blank again.
Great. Captain, there's a door on the other side of these bars. Do you think there's any merit to maybe investigating that?
I think you should.
Well, I'll have to... excuse me. And Arasatra's form, this large furbolg, will start to shrink as she incants a wild shape to a rat. Something that can fit between these bars. As I remember, the other half of the room was like cordoned off by these bars, and there was a door or hatch on the other side.
Yes, there is a hatch into the bottom of the floor. If you are looking through the bars, it is at the back right corner of the room. The rest of this room is suspiciously, or maybe unsuspiciously, it depends on how you feel about it, completely empty beyond the bars here. And these bars were pretty tight together, but if you're going down to rat size, that is not going to be an issue for you.
It was the only way she saw around it, but she understood, like, there's something to this room, and there's obviously something, important beyond some of these barriers. They probably keep things. So she's interested. She'll go down to rat form, go through the bars, and then revert back to her normal size and open up the hatch.
Okay.
Well, that's a clever little trick.
Opening up the hatch, you find a rolled up rope ladder just inside. And what you also see is this hatch goes way down into a big open space, the floor being about 40 or so feet below you, and opening up into the cavernous main room at the bottom of the tower.
The one that was full of automaton?
The one that had the center area between the supports full of automata, and they are there still.
Arasatra will leave the hatch open and slowly pull her head up and look at the captain and say, "I'm glad we looked through here." And she's just going to basically just like make sure we checked, is there easy enough egress to like use this rope ladder should we require it.
Well, how the fuck are the rest of us going to get through there? A disembodied voice says to you in your head.
It's an idea.
How the fuck else are we going to get through there?
Quinn.
A Quinn voice says to your head.
Well, I thought it was worth looking through. What it is an opportunity. Should it come to it, we will be able to use 2 vantage points for this attack. But for now, good knowledge is what will save the day. We have returned and closed those gates. So let's get moving again. And she's going to have to wild shape again to a rat form. Maybe, yeah, she'll stay with the rat. Stay in the rat form, and she's going to continue with Quinn. In fact, if she could, she would climb up onto Quinn's shoulder.
Now, speaking of Quinn, what are you up to, and what are you doing with this information that you've been given?
I'm going to... So we're trying to... What are we doing with the levers again? I apologize.
Closing the gates to the students.
Which you've done already. It's
so we
done.
did that.
You did the job you needed to do to
right.
split the party.
So right. So I can go back through the gate thing, the portal,
The teleporter?
portal.
Yeah, like the little teleporter pad or whatever it is. Yeah.
So Quinn, well, first of all, like, so he first feels the rat. Is that what you're doing? You're climbing up on his shoulder. He does not like that at all. He kind of like tries to shrug Arasatra off a little bit. I don't know how good rats are at clinging, I guess, but I'm gonna try to kind of shake her off a little bit.
Try a grapple contest with a rat.
Whatever the DM decides, I guess.
Arasatra, make a. If you have a stat block for said rat, you can use its dexterity if it is greater than your own, but make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Okay.
Is this versus a strength check or no?
No, this is versus a number I have sitting in my head.
Okay.
The roll is a 10. I am looking up. There's the rat. Dexterity is +0, so it's a 10.
Exactly a 10 is not going to quite be enough, and you are summarily ejected from Quinn's shoulder. Quite small, you're not going to take any falling damage from that, because a rat wouldn't get damage from falling 6 feet. That sounds dumb.
She skitters as she hits the floor and just kind of like looks up at him and just like, okay. And then casually, like as rats usually scurry, she's just like kind of striding very slowly onto the portal to follow you then.
Yeah. So I get onto the portal.
Teleporter.
Why do I keep saying portal?
I don't know. You got me on it too.
I mean, it's functionally the same, but not really.
It's not Stargate. It's Star Trek.
Yeah, thanks, John. Thank you. It's an important distinction we need to make here. As the other two standing on the other side of the teleporter, waiting for our friends to re-arrive while they just
not
go exploring.
on it.
Well, they've got a few things
it.
to go through before they get to where you are, because if you are in what we would call room 2, they've got to get through at least 1, 2, 3 different rooms to get to you.
I'm glad we skipped that on their way to get to the lovers, because that was helpful.
Did we, maybe we hand-waved away the dark room that, was the dark room still dark at that point, or did we find a way?
We removed curse on that.
Oh, yes. Yeah, you removed curse, because, yeah, you guys found plenty of ways to trivialize most of what I did.
As per usual.
Or it was dispel magic. It was dispel magic.
Yeah.
I mean, I had, multiple different things and a few different ways to get through this one. I tried to keep it a little open-ended, so yeah, I'd more or less accounted for it, but still. All right, so you guys go into the formerly dark maze room, and since you've navigated this several times, make it out of there and back to that kind of machine-y equipment room. Mm-hmm. Before I get too much further than that, I kind of want to see what Felix and Jarrell have been doing to kill their time.
Literally just staying alert.
Not standing on teleporters.
No, but we've already fought one of those automata that were on their way to the students, so we are standing watch.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Watching the other teleporters to make sure nothing else shows up that we might need to fight.
Right, like nothing else comes through.
Okay, and you guys are just kind of standing, milling around, maybe making small banter or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Anxiously waiting is more the right term here, because Felix's plan is never to split the party.
I suppose not. Okay, so, and we'll cut back to our first group with Quinn and Arasatra in the machinery room, and I take it you're just going to make a beeline straight back to there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you go through the machinery room and take the teleporter I have labeled as 3 back to room number 1. You come back in on that south teleporter, and you know that if you wanted to get back to the rest of the party, you would take the one on the west side of the room.
That's what I drew.
Okay, so that appears
It's been a month for me, so I'm
unless
lost.
you've decided something else. Because
Right.
in this room, so you've come in on a teleporter platform at the south. There
Yep.
are platforms at the north, west, and east. The one to the north has been destroyed by an automata. The one to the west would take you back to what we would call room number 1, which was the first room with the teleporter pads. And the one all the way over at the east would actually take you to the north end of the giant hallway, or the giant open area full of automata at the bottom of the tower. That, appears to be the main point of entry for these automata working their way in.
Yep, which we're probably going to have to, when we regroup, we're going to have to go there and probably fight them to retake the lighthouse.
See, look, figure out, whatever, because whatever is going to come through there is going to continue coming through there. So, yes, you go through one teleporter and rejoin that, and the party is now reunited in the second teleporter room.
Ah, excellent, Quinn. You're back. That was fast.
I do everything quickly.
Should we check to make sure they're closed?
We'll go on.
Sorry, just that comment really got me.
Should we check to see if the gates are closed?
Yes, we absolutely should, and then we need to... Well, we need to probably blast our way out of here.
Sounds like a plan to me, Felix.
We'll go on.
So do we go back on the teleporter?
Yes, the one to send
To
us...
which one?
To the one that... Which
Takes
is
us
the one
to the
that sends
students.
Arasaka
Yes.
the map.
Yes. You see the tiny rat
Why are
scurrying
you still
around
a
like
rat?
There's probably a
it's my
strategic purpose for this.
it's my last wild shape. And if it was just to crawl through bars only to crawl through back, she may need to stay in rat form. She can do it up to 6 hours. For the temporary purposes right now, if it can be utilized, she'll stay in rat form.
Smart.
And otherwise, she can just drop it. But that's the last wild shape. So
You have the advantage of being small and innocuous. You have the disadvantage in that you're not going to be able to talk to the party in your character voice or be able to convey any ideas more complex than what a rat could convey through wiggling around.
right. I would imagine she at least acts in a way that is not natural to a
I'm
rat.
sorry. Has anyone watched Ratatouille? All right, rats can be expressive.
So many things.
Well, I'm sure they are. Remy communicated almost solely through pulling on the main character's hair.
And gesticulating. They have the...
can't.
Listen. If the rat had the hand dexterity to pull someone's hair and control them like a puppet, they have enough hand dexterity to stand up and wave. Is all I'm saying.
And Jarrell will ask, Quinn, where did what was her name? Arasatra, where did she go?
You're looking at her.
Arasatra crawls out in front of Quinn and sits on the hind legs and just kind of and gives a couple little squeaks at him, whether or not he even acknowledges it or not.
Jarrell will pick up the rat. That is Arasatra.
As you approach her, she's going to run towards the western teleporter.
Okay.
In this room.
Okay. Well, he'll pick you up so we can ride the teleporter and.
Sorry, we're in the room with the northern one destroyed.
Yes, you're in the room.
Okay.
You're currently in the room with the northern teleporter destroyed. The teleporter you entered on is the one in the west.
So she goes down to the south one. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought it was, the south one.
She goes to the south one to take us to the school hallway. And if Jarrell can catch up to me, he can pick me up.
Okay, so Arasatra goes through. Who else is going through?
We all are.
Yeah, Jarrell's going to hold Arasatra, knowing that that's her in rat form.
Okay. All right, so John, carrying Arasatra, goes through. Felix goes through.
Not John, Jarrell.
Jarrell.
I wouldn't pick up a rat. I'm just going to make that clear.
If it was your transformed friend, would you pick it up?
Well, see, Jarrell is fearless, so I have fear of some rats. He cannot be afraid. So he would pick up the rat.
Okay.
And are we calling Arasatra a friend?
Yeah.
Oh, boo.
I think it's an intern.
She's an intern.
Yeah.
She's not an intern. She's not actually an intern. Nobody sent her.
She just showed up.
Remember,
She's a
just
volunteer.
remember,
She's a
when
volunteer.
HR knocks on your door,
She's a volunteer.
That's exactly what she would say. I'm not a hero. I'm a volunteer.
Huh.
well, right now you're a rat, so
Too true. All right, so we all go through.
All right, everybody goes through. And as you materialize into the next room, you do see that all of the gates have had their bars lowered.
Success. And then back to the teleporter again.
Okay.
were you expecting anything different?
Okay, so next plan.
Just making
We
sure.
need to get back down to the lower level, and we need to clear a path for these students to escape to safety. Or we need to at least clear a path, maybe usher them to the airship, and we can evacuate them from the top.
One or the other for certain. Is the sword of justice glowing?
Let's see. Right now, okay, so you have gone back. You are in the main area.
Right now we haven't traveled.
We're not in the main area. You are in, I'm sorry, the second teleporter room, I should say.
Yes.
As long as we left the hallway, yeah.
Okay, you have left the hallway. You are in the second teleporter room. The Sword of Justice is not currently glowing.
Oh, okay. It's the first time it hasn't been
Right
glowing.
now, until it starts glowing.
Oh,
And who, doggy, has it just burst into some pretty bright, holy, whatever glowiness flame thing it is.
Cool.
Like, you've never seen it shine like this before.
oh, okay. So Jarrell just thinks that the sword's as excited to kill things as he is.
Yes. And just as you're kind of processing that, what's everyone else's reaction, real quick, to Jarrell's sword?
The sword glowing?
Suddenly bursting into glow. It went from 0 to about 150 and nothing.
It's just another Thursday.
I'm gonna stand behind the glowing sword.
My head's glowing, so this is just par for the course for the heroes here.
So about a couple of fractions of a second later, you start to hear a bit of a from the teleporter pad on the other side of the room. The one
knowing that we're all in this room, Jarrell is going to, if I'm going to use Divine Sense the second it arrives, and then hit if it's undead immediately. Does that make sense?
Okay. I don't think you can really queue up two different actions like that, but
Okay.
I'll take Divine Sense on that you're kind of keeping on retainer here.
Okay.
Anybody else have a quick little reaction? Either what are you thinking or what are you preparing?
I
real
do,
quick?
but this is more of a it's going to help Felix and not it's going to help everyone else kind of move.
Same.
Well, Arasatra is going to drop her form. She'll try to scamper away from Jarrell as she does that. Knowing that his sword is glowing, I think she was on edge. Now that she hears something coming through the teleporter, she's going to hop off.
Quinn casts
And then-
greater invisibility on himself.
All right. And you know what? As soon as I confirm, so I'm actually going to wait until I actually have confirmation that this is in fact a hostile. On the back half of the room that person is, or thing is entering from, I plan to cast darkness.
Yeah, if I can see that it's hostile, I'm gonna hit it. If I can't tell if it's hostile or not, then I would use Divine Sense. But if it's hostile, obviously I'm gonna hit it.
Just to clarify, we're in this room with the 4 teleporters.
Mm-hmm.
You've come back there?
Are in a
Okay.
room with 4 plates and 3 working teleporters as North is destroyed.
Okay, just double checking.
Which
Thank
one's
you.
whirring?
The one that is going to the main area. Like, this is all, by the way, taking place over the course of about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Jarl's ready to hit something.
Okay, so Jarl is ready to hit something, but really what you're ready to do is to Divine Sense.
Unless it's obviously, if it's a humanoid, I'm gonna Divine Sense. If it's a robot, I'm gonna crush it.
Okay. Quinn, have you already gone invisible, or you're just, you have it queued up?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna just go invisible.
Okay, so Quinn is invisible. Greatly.
Greatly invisible.
Yes.
Greatly.
Arasatra continues to be a rat.
Oh no, she wanted to climb off of him and return back to her form.
Oh, Arasatra is back to form. Okay, sorry about that. I missed that.
Nope, sorry.
And that's why I'm glad I confirm these things as I go through. And Felix is, I'm sorry, what were you about ready to do again, Felix?
I'm just gonna hold the darkness spell, because what I also realize about darkness is that any magical light created by a spell with a level higher than the darkness spell, which Crown of Stars is, allows me to still illuminate that if I choose. But if it's the equal to or lower than the spell level, which is always cast at level 5, it dispels any magical source of light of that level or lower.
All right.
So I can kind of briefly give my team glimpses of the thing we're shooting by firing these like stars from my head, essentially, at whatever's in there, because I can see in magical darkness. That's what I'm thinking. But it's just prepared. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna cast it once I confirm that this is like something that would be beneficial. So we'll see. I'm not gonna necessarily like just quickly react and do it. I'm gonna be more calculated with the way that I use my stuff. So I would say if there's gonna be a surprise round, like count me out of it.
Lame.
All right. Good. So we've got those things ready to go. And through the teleporter comes a single hooded, robed figure with both of his hands, palms facing towards you, hands up, fingers open.
I will use Divine Sense.
You're all here. Well, that spares me having to go find you.
I will hit it.
Okay, well, we'll start with the Divine Sense.
I mean,
Now,
no.
what does Divine
Yeah.
Sense do?
Undead, consecrated, desecrated, fiends, aberrations, celestials, not aberrations, celestials, fiends, undead, consecrated, and desecrated.
So, I'm trying to think.
Is it like a
How
Mr.
best-
Black thing again, where like it's a mix of a bunch of?
Well, there's. It's not so much a mix. It's undead, but it doesn't taste quite the same as undead you're used to. In the same way that if you're expecting Diet Coke and you got a mouthful of the real thing, you know it's Coke, but it's not the same Coke you were expecting. In the same way, you were expecting an undead, and you definitely sense an undead, but this is not the kind of undead that you were looking for.
Like extra undead?
Like
Undead classic?
Undead with a lot more experience, maybe?
Uh-huh.
Made with
Real finely aged undead.
Right. Real evil.
Pure evil.
Pure Cain evil.
Good. You're all here. Now, I know you're all going to want to take your shots at me, and I'm sure maybe we can...
Can I hit him now? Sorry.
Let him monologue, damn it. It's a villainous monologue.
Thank you. I'm glad someone understands the meaning of a good time-honored tradition around here. Now, where should we begin, huh? This little summit we're having here. Such a delicious little time, me to threaten, you to banter, and then we'll reach our common ground or not. I'm really do hoping we are. Could be to all of our benefit.
If you expect to kill us, then I guess you wouldn't mind telling me why you're here and who you are.
Well, I suppose if I expected to just kill you outright, I could have been done with it. You know what's here. Well, you know what's in the foyer. Maybe you even know how many there are. I'm sure you could probably figure out how many it would take to kill you. And understand, if it comes to that, I'm going to use a lot more than that.
Jarrell readies his shield in front of him and prepares to strike with the Sword of Justice, which is glowing like it's never glown before.
You still haven't told me who you are.
Who I am. Oh my gosh. That's not a question I've been asked in a long time, but they've called me Ebenezer once. Maybe a few times.
Dun, dun, dun.
Wait, whoa. The Ebenezer?
No, a Ebenezer. Haven't you heard? I come in 6-packs. Of course, the Ebenezer. Do you really think anyone would dare take that name? After me? I mean, come on, how gauche. Yes, but yeah, I am the one that you would understand as Ebenezer, and since I haven't killed you, you might be wondering, why all the talk? Well, I have a little proposition for you, you see. There's something I need here, and there's something you need here. And to put it frank, I need what's in that school. I'm afraid I'm going to need all of what's in that school. Now, you're probably going to get all righteous and heroic and indignant and all of those things. Really, though, why? All I'm asking, leave. Leave me what's in the school. And in return, I will save your world for you.
You know we can't just let you do that. Because there's no way you can guarantee that when you're the one who's been responsible for destroying this whole world to begin with.
Why would we be stupid enough to trust you?
Because you've got a choice between me and Vecna, and at least I'm willing to talk to you.
We'll take care of you, and then we'll take care of him. Right, Captain?
You seem to have a little bit of a math problem on your side.
You say right, Captain, and Quinn's invisible, right?
Stop letting him know I'm here.
She looks and then either Felix or
Not there.
Jarrell like shrugs.
You know it's too late for that, right? I mean, the invisibility is a nice trick. I learned it back in my school days a long time ago, but do you really expect me not to, prepare? You think I am some villain out of your Saturday morning comics?
Yes.
Such as it stands, I need what's in that school. I'm going to have what's in that school. And you can either leave here with your lives and allow me to save your world for you and maybe continue being heroes off somewhere else. Or your story ends here. I continue to get what's in the school and I save your world without you in it. But make no mistake, I am doing this. I'm doing this now. And you're not stopping me.
Oh, I don't like this at all. I don't like
If our decision is of no consequence to you, then I suppose it's already made. And Realistically, Jarl's going to try to hit him.
All right. Yeah, get your surprise round in, and then
Oh, I do get a surprise round. Okay.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. Well, fuck. That's all I have to say.
Fuck.
Yep.
I'm not 100% sure if Arasatra is in the loop on the entire history.
It is a very
Ebenezer.
well-told tale.
All right, so she
As
knows
in,
that land.
Ebenezer
at
is the
least.
one responsible for the foul upheaval that created the fucking Crucible lands to begin with and destroyed the city of Ul. And Felix is extra mad because I'm not saying anything out loud here, but he's
clearly
the reason that I am what I am. At least that's what I feel, because I was caught in the blast very far away, but still in the Crucible lands when it happened.
Okay. I just want to make sure we were talking about common knowledge and not, distinct.
Well known to the world.
Okay.
As like what we thought initially was the big bad until Vecna came into play.
Right.
Wow.
And now he's the big bad right in front of you.
Right. I don't think a 17 is going to hit. Is a 17 going to hit?
A 17 actually will hit.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put literally every single drop of power that the Sword of Justice has in it.
Cool. We'll be back in about 20 minutes, folks.
Yeah, just do your friggin' math already.
3 hours later.
I got to pick which ones I'm doing. Oh, I should have had banishment set. Let's see. Okay. So I don't have a ton of smites left. I will do a 3rd level blinding smite and a 4th level divine smite.
Okay, swinging for the
Okay.
fences.
So I got 3d8 for the blinding smite. And let me count how many I got for the divine smite. All right, so that's 9, 11 d8. A lot of ones ship. So I got a 33 divine smite, radiant damage, and 13 slashing damage. So it's 46 damage.
46 damage total, and let's see. It was all either radiant or magical slashing, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so that will all go through. All right, that damage goes through. And we have hit... do you have anything else that you are doing on this combat round, then?
Out of curiosity,
no.
does extra attack apply to the attack action on a surprise round?
2 attacks per action?
Yeah, I believe it does, because it's the same action.
Oh, okay. So I can get 2 attacks off real quick?
Well, yeah, as long as your extra attack is part of your attack and you're not doing something with your bonus action to get that attack, then yeah, that goes through.
Yeah.
All right,
John,
well
with
then-
extra attack, do you get 1 or 2 extra on your turn?
Just 1.
Just 1? Okay, just checking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
but
have...
If I'm allowing the attack action as a surprise, I'm allowing the entire attack action. None of the bonus action attached. Like, you're not getting the extra swing out of that or anything, but...
Right. Okay, so I hit again with a 20. I'll do a 2nd level divine smite.
All right.
So I got 48 on that. It's 19 radiant damage and 12 slashing.
Sorry, you said so 19 and 12,
Uh-huh.
which is another 31.
77
Okay.
damage total.
It is quite a bit.
Not your best, but not your worst.
Definitely not my best. There were a lot of 1s in that 10d8. A lot of 1s and 2s.
And with your mighty shattering attack, the cowled robe that was clothing Ebenezer here is incinerated in writhing holy flame, laying bare a slightly more advanced and ever so slightly slimmer automata than you've already seen.
Oh.
But no less deadly looking and absolutely pouring out through a crack in the middle of its chest that was rent in it by the sword of justice is more of that green smoke.
Green smoke?
Interesting.
And now we roll for initiative.
Oh, already done, brother.
Oh, you forgot to do a save against being blinded. Or by blinding smite.
By blinding smite. Okay, well, what kind of save does that require?
Let me check.
I've got one here. I believe it's Constitution.
Yep, it is.
Okay,
Blinding smite Constitution against a...
It doesn't matter, I nabbed that one.
Oh, okay. Well, he's not blinded.
Not that there's a net on that, but a 20 plus 4 is probably going to beat what your DC is.
It does.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
Okay, so we've gotten to that midpoint in there, and before we get into Arasatra's turn. That was exceptionally rude. I feel like I've given you a more than generous offer. All right, Arasatra, it's your turn.
She's going to step to a side where she doesn't have Jarrell in a line of sight, because I imagine he just barged right in at him. She needs to get to the side and get a clear line of sight on Ebenezer, and she is going to wave her staff, and then you're going to see her eyes kind of roll back as she breathes in deeply, and then her opposite hand starts to glow. And it gets brighter and brighter, and she's going to cast Daylight. Actually, no. She'll cast Sunbeam. That's the one. Sunbeam. Beam of brilliant light flashes out from my hand in a 5-foot wide, 60 long cone, or 60 long line. I'm just aiming straight at it. And it must make a Constitution saving throw.
The old Pregnard special.
All right, one Constitution saving throw coming right up. It's going to come to a 22.
Yes, that saves. But it's going to take 8 radiant damage.
When you take that 8 radiant damage.
And you're concentrating on this, right? It's literally just a beam that you're firing out in a line.
I can create a new line of radiance as my action on any turn until the spell ends, which also means so long as I maintain concentration, I can do other actions and other things, and then just blast them anytime I want to.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah. Also has a chance, if they fail that save, to blind. But he'll take some radiance, and I'll hold concentration on that, staying in my position so long as it's clear, and I'm not going to hit anyone else.
All right. Anything else on your turn there, Arasatra?
I think that'll be it.
Fantastic. Felix, the play's to you.
Okay. So what I'd like to do is try to first place I want to hex this thing.
Which
But I
hex?
don't know if I want to do it just
Okay.
yet. I think I'm gonna wait. On that. Instead, I'm gonna use my action. Is there about at least an area I can create a 20-foot radius sphere where I can encompass Ebenezer but not Jarrell? Or at least the automata of Ebenezer.
Okay, let's take a quick look here. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So this room has a 70-foot diameter. Ebenezer is just off of the platform, so he would be about 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet away from the edge of the teleporter platform you would have come into this room on.
Okay, so I should be able to kind of place it sort of around the teleport, like on the teleporter, so that the edge of the spell's effect hits him. Okay, great.
Yeah, you could science that out or math it out or whatever to make it work. Yeah.
Great.
I'm not drawing a terribly detailed diagram of the room for my notes. I figure we'll figure it out.
Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're gonna cast Synaptic Static. So Felix is going to, you're gonna see him kind of like put his hands out to the side and then clap him over his head with his hands like pointed up. And there's like an explosion of psychic energy that happens there. And I need him to make an intelligence saving throw against a 19.
And he is definitely not going to succeed on it.
Good, finally.
That is fantastic. So, the first thing that happens is he's going to take 8d6 psychic damage.
All right.
.28 psychic damage.
All right.
And after a failed save, a target has muddled thoughts for 1 minute. During that time, it rolls a d6 and subtracts the number rolled from all its attack rolls and ability checks, as well as its constitution saving throws to maintain concentration.
Nice.
The target can make an intelligence saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself as a success. So, until the end of its turn, right, you can repeat that save, essentially, right? But for the next minute, yeah, minus d6 on attack rolls and ability checks and con saving throws to maintain concentration, because it's been assaulted with an explosion of psychic energy.
Do you roll the
bonus
d6
action.
once and subtract that each time, or do you roll it every time?
For each roll, it subtracts that d6.
The same d6?
You roll it for each individual roll has a d6 subtracted from it. So you roll the d6
okay.
for each roll. And then as a bonus action, since my Crown of Stars is active and its duration is an hour, I'm going to fire another one of the motes at
All right.
Ebenezer.
Now, is that is a free or is that a bonus action to fire?
It's a bonus
that
action.
is off your bonus. Okay.
Does a 24 hit?
Yeah, 24 will do the job. We've established a
17
7.
Oh, that's right. Okay, good. No, just checking. Spells different.
Feel free to recap. He fired a star from his Crown of Stars. It's
Sweet.
And that's 20 radiant damage.
And another 20 radiant damage. Okay, this thing it's not looking great, to be honest.
And then I'm going to actually use my movement. Just going to head 25 feet a little further back.
Okay.
Because I think I still have some realist. I think I still have some.
Get yourself about 20 feet back before your butt's against the wall.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. All right. Felix's butt up against the wall.
That's my turn.
And yeah, Ebenezer is making slightly jerky movements now, like something isn't quite working right with him. And Quinn, we're to your turn.
Okay, so Jarrell is up with Ebenezer, correct?
Jarrell, yeah, he has, of course, boldly and nobly strode forward right up into the grill of the mighty Ebenezer.
Okay, so I invisibly, what am I, 20 feet from Jarrell?
Yeah, about 20 feet sounds right, sure.
Okay, so I stroll 20 feet up to Jarrell. I take off invisibility and instead cast Bear's Endurance on Jarrell, where he gets 2d6 extra hit points, temporary hit points, as well as advantage on Constitution saving throw.
Very nice.
So you are getting 9 extra hit point, Jarrell.
You have 9 temp
Cool.
HP.
9 temp HP, and then he takes 10 feet back because I have 30 feet. So he takes 10 feet back. He then action surges and casts Shatter at like beyond Ebenezer, so it only hits Ebenezer and Jarrell.
Yeah. I was
And
gonna say, you should be able to center at the same place I did with Synaptic Static to only hit Ebenezer.
so I can miss Jarrell.
Yeah, I mean, it has a similar radius, right? It's a 20-foot radius.
10 foot.
Oh, yeah. So you can place it behind Ebenezer and not hit Jarrell, like in the same way.
Okay,
that I
so
did with
there is
Synaptic
10
Static.
feet behind Ebenezer.
There's 20 feet behind Ebenezer.
Oh, okay, perfect. So then, I place it because it's a 60-foot range, so I can definitely make that. So that is going to be at third level. That's going to be 3d8. So you just he hears a loud ringing noise, and it just pierces his ears. First he has to make a Constitution saving throw. Sorry.
-6, AD6.
Minus a d6. Or, yes.
Well, you
minus
would have
a
also had
d6.
advantage. That's why I gave you the Bear's Endurance.
Yeah, that makes sense now. It still helps.
But even still,
I like
still
yeah.
helpful.
Okay, so he's where's the d6 that we're involving here?
Do you roll it?
Oh,
Does Dave roll it?
Subtracted. You just you subtract that d. You roll the d6 with it and just subtract that d. Actually, I'll roll it.
All right.
You're gonna subtract 6 from that Constitution saving throw.
Which sadly only gets me a 15.
Yay! I have a 17. Yay! Okay, so you are gonna take 4d8 damage, thunder damage. 17 thunder damage.
All right.
Is
So
he deafened?
well, before we get into that, normally I would let you describe things in this situation, but what does happen is with that blast of thunder, not only is Ebenezer destroyed, but the entire back wall of the tower that was in the area, the whole first inch of the stone is just shattered and blasts into rock powder.
Oh wow! Can we see outside?
Cool.
Automata, no, like there's still more of it. You've just blasted off like the first inch of about 2 feet of rock.
Okay.
It's quite dramatic, and the automata that was Ebenezer is destroyed.
Automata.
Well, good job.
That was too easy.
Got him. That was too easy. I agree with that.
I'm afraid
The platform starts whirring again.
I used way too high of a spell on that asshole.
This may not be over yet.
Jarrell prepares to strike again.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm standing there at the ready.
Do you think he's gonna
And-
come right away?
Another automata does come through. Looks disdainfully at the one on the floor. Looks up. I told you. I know how many I'm going to use.
Jarrell hits him.
Well, here's an interesting thing. Do we continue on the same initiative, or do we re-roll right back into it?
That's your call, buddy.
Okay, good. We're on Ebenezer's turn in initiative then. Stop letting me make calls like this.
I think it
You're
makes
the
sense. though,
DM.
'cause we're
That's
still
your
in the
job.
same- yeah,
I
we're still
know,
in the
but
same
I'm a
setting.
malevolent, terrible DM.
No, you're pretty great.
Yeah,
Listen, more
more like
malevolent, the better
kind
the
of
DM.
terrible, kind of terrible.
We'll see. I
Yeah.
stand by what I said.
We've thwarted you before.
You go back at it. Oh, yes. How many times in a row? How much magic do you think you have? More importantly, how long before your paladin's faith wears thin? And the automata begins to swing. All right, let's see. What do we got? We
Does he still have -6?
die.
Does he still have
No,
-6,
it's a
or is it
different
different?
target.
Is
That
it
is
a
a different
thing?
target.
Yeah. Okay.
That is a
It doesn't
different target.
transfer. Damn. That was really helpful.
I'm sure it was.
It was momentarily.
Okay, so you have a 26 and a let's see, 22.
Ah,
What
they
is
both hit.
swinging?
Yes. What is it swinging? It is swinging its two arms. It is essentially the automata you were fighting earlier.
But just shaped differently, or is
Well,
talking.
the first
through
one
them.
was shaped differently. This one is shaped like every other one.
Oh, so this one's like the regular ones. I
This
see.
one is like the regular ones.
So they could
Interesting.
all be Ebenezer. Shit. You have to beat every single last one of them, or else there's more of him. Okay. All right.
Mhm.
They're like Horcruxes.
Right.
Maybe. Except there's whole boatloads of them in the bottom now.
Right.
I mean, there was a lot around before, and he just brought an entire other column in. So, yes, so he swings with the two of those, and let's see, those are going to be 1, 2. All right, so it's going to start with 17 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
11 radiant damage. And 9 necrotic damage
Okay.
off of the first attack. $17 bludgeoning damage. 9 radiant damage. And 7 necrotic damage from the other.
Glad I gave you that 10 hit points.
Uh-huh.
I mean, there were only
Oh,
9 of
no.
them, but they were useful.
I don't feel any more obligation to you. I gave you your out. Now I'm just going to keep coming until you are thoroughly destroyed. Like I told you, I will have what's in this tower. And it moves on to, let's see, yeah, we're back to Jarrell's turn in initiative.
Jarrell is not looking too great. Let's see.
That's not a good sign when there's a column of these things waiting for us.
Right. I'm going to do the attack action. I'm going to attack it twice.
I have an idea too.
I also have an idea.
I also have.
I mean, I have a plan.
I have put all of the tools into your hands to successfully solve this.
So I hit twice.
All
As long
right.
as the DC is the same.
Well, yes. If you're trying to beat a 17, or if both of those beat a 17, then yes, they will hit. The
Yep.
DC is exactly the same.
All right. I will make that a first level and a third level divine smite. So it's another 10d8 radiant damage, which is 47, much better this time, and 22 slashing. So 47 radiant damage and 22 slashing damage.
Okay. If it means anything to you in terms that we've set out, this thing is more than bloodied.
Okay, sorry. I would like to do two things. Well, no, I can't do the last one because I already did an attack. But I would like to use Turn the Tide to at least make sure that I don't drop.
Okay. Channel Divinity, here we go.
Yep. So I get 1d6 plus my charisma mod. And if anybody else was injured, which I don't think they were, all of you get this too. But it's not temporary HP. So I got 9 back. Which is okay.
Hey, it's better than nothing.
Right.
Anything else on your turn?
No, that's it. That's all I can do right now.
Okay, play passes to Arasatra.
She still has her sunbeam ready.
Yep. Because that concentration sunbeam doesn't rely on your target, just on you.
Nope. Yep. Just up to 1 minute. So she's kind of frustrated and fed up. She's looking at this thing, thought it was something else, and was deceived, and now it seems she understands like something controls all of these things. And she's like burning her hand, just like lighting up the entire room. And she winces and she just says, "You talk too much. I'm gonna burn your eyes out." And we'll shoot another sunbeam at her, or at the automaton. And I forgot to say, it's making a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage if it's undead or a construct.
All right, I feel like
both.
it could match either of those. So it's making a con save at disadvantage, you said?
Correct.
All right, so an 18, because I got a 14 and a 19 on the die.
An 18 passes. It saves. So it is not blinded, but it's going to take this radiant damage. It'll just take half of it. So 11 plus 4, because we got to round down. So 15 radiant damage.
Such righteous indignation. How many of my soul forge do you think you can make through before even that indignation runs out?
She wants to yell over to Felix, like realizing this thing is just full of empty promises and just useless threats. We need to stop them from getting what they're after.
I have a plan.
And she's unfamiliar with your catchphrase. She's only seen like the random things that end up occurring, as these situations unfold. So she still has like a wide look in her eye, but she's holding concentration on her sunbeam and trying to just focus away on these automata coming through the pet.
All right. Anything else on your turn, Arasatra?
That'll do it.
Okay, let's see, and we're back down the list to Felix.
Okay. I recall back when we first entered the lighthouse from the top. One of these automata was destroying one of the teleportation platforms.
Correct.
I'm going to fire 3 Eldritch Blasts at the teleportation platform that this is entering in from.
All right.
Going for broke. All 3 shots.
Sounds good. Fire away.
Yeah, the lowest is a 16. Then I have an 18 and a 30.
Yeah, you do know it's a stationary object you're firing.
Don't care. Still gotta make the attack roll.
Yeah, I mean, you're correct.
Oh, amazing. 36 force damage.
36 force damage. An entire chunk of the back of it is blasted away. There's still some teleporter disc remaining. It's still got crackling with a little bit of energy. But now you can physically see that energy crackling through the air near it.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna fire one of the motes of light from my head at this teleporter as well.
All right.
At the teleporter? You already broke the teleporter.
It's not broken entirely.
No, I had a number in my mind.
Okay.
And you said you had done 34 to it so far?
Yes.
Okay.
And since we're already operating under the assumption that like an 18 or a 20 is gonna hit, so I'm just gonna roll the 4d12.
Yeah, just roll that beautiful beam footage.
Oh my god. 12, 12, 10, 4.
Oh, you
34,
broke it.
38 radiant damage.
The platform is destroyed utterly.
Good luck getting up here, I say to the automata.
I told you I needed what was in the school. I didn't say anything about needing the tower.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
that's how we want to do things. That's how we're going to do things, I suppose. All right, Quinn, it is your turn.
What worked the first time can work a second time. Cast Shatter again at 3rd level.
All right.
Save. It's got to make a save.
Oh,
Big
yeah.
con save, right?
Making that con save. Is it still making it at a disadvantage for any reason? Nope.
No.
Oh, Phil didn't have it at disadvantage?
There's no AoE anything to it, so like that initial thing I did was only for the one that was initially affected.
Well, it comes up with a 17.
Yep, is 17.
The
Does
matches.
it take any damage on a failed save? Or does it hit? I'm sorry. Does it take any damage on a successful save?
So even is fail, right?
If it matches, it passes.
Right. Well, right, I failed. So, okay, so it takes half damage. I rolled 4d8. It was 17, so it'll take 8 damage. Yeah.
All right.
And I'm going to... I'm going to stay where I am. I'm good. That's my turn.
All right. And we have gotten back to Ebenezer, who is going to make his attacks at the paladin in front of him. Any last words, hero?
Gerald says nothing.
21 and a 28 to hit.
21 matches, so that hit too.
Let's see, that's 12 bludgeoning, 4 radiant, 3 necrotic,
Okay.
and another 11 in bludgeoning, 5 radiant, and 6 necrotic.
Jarrell looks like he's barely standing.
Oh, isn't that a pity? Well, suppose it really is the sudden stop at the end that kills you. All right, we're on to Jarrell's retort, I suppose.
Again, like barely standing. Jarrell is going to take, I guess, 2 swings.
All right.
19 and that was like way more than a 19. They both hit.
Fair enough.
Jarrell is not going to use a divine smite on this one. Now this machine is looking pretty damaged, right?
It is looking pretty damaged, yes.
You already get improved divine smite plus the sword of justice damage on it, anyways. So you're already
Right.
going to be dealing.
Is that? Oh, I get improved divine smite just anytime I hit.
Every
I thought
time you hit.
Okay.
Without
So then
spending
I
any
get
spell
I get
slots.
2d6. That's 4d8. I was actually doing that wrong the whole time. Because I'm a
Yeah,
fool.
because the D8 from improved divine smite is on any hit.
Oh, I've been using it the whole time. So that's 17 radiant damage and 17 slashing damage.
So let's see. 1 second.
It's 34.
Yes, which is one more than the number you needed to beat, by the way. So, I need
Well, he
you
was
to get
one less than he needed to beat me. So.
Okay, so good. First, I need you to get a little descriptive, and then I'm going to get a little descriptive.
Jarrell hits it once with the radiant sword and then just impales it in the center mass.
All right, so your sword is right through the middle of this thing, huh?
Yep.
The form of this automata, this soul forged that Ebenezer was controlling, shudders briefly a few times and explodes in a blinding flash of holy flame.
Holy flame.
Holy
Okay.
flame.
Does anybody have a way to revive Jarrell? Because he's down.
Well, stop a moment. I'm not done being descriptive yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, while your sword is still held out in front of you, where it would be through the middle of this now exploded automata, the sword shakes a little bit, and what appears to be a good amount of silver off of the blade falls to the floor, revealing a very delicate gold filigree going up the entire length of the blade on both sides.
Oh, wow. The sword improved, huh?
I figured this was a time.
Yeah,
That was the
cool.
moment. And just as much as you may like what that new sword has to bring, if you, our audience, like us, you can find us on the internet. We're in such places as Twitter and the Gram at Hapless Heroes. We're on Facebook, Hapless Heroes Podcast, and we are on Reddit /r/Hapless Heroes Podcast. Every single one of those places, however, will take you to the crown jewel of our internet presence. Heck, just the crown jewel of Dave's presence, our Discord server, the sort of place where you can meet, interact with, hang out with us, and talk to us on a daily basis about anything D&D related and many and most things non-D&D related. It's a great place. It's a wonderful community, and we would absolutely we would be overjoyed if you were to join us there and come aboard and be part of our community. Now, if you really like us, though, you could leave us a 5-star review on the podcast service of your choice. And at this point, this deep into the podcast, I feel like you've probably chosen the podcast service. And being an adult, you can probably navigate how to leave us a 5-star review. If you do so, and we see it, we do check for these sorts of things, but we're not infallible. If you've left one a while ago and you haven't seen us, just shoot us a message on our Discord or our email. Give us a little poke to where it is. Because what we want from that is to read it on the air so that we can give you credit as a 5-star human being. But if you want to go a little past that, if you maybe really, really like us, you could donate to our Patreon, patreon.com/haplessheroes. And we've got several different reward levels.
Oh yeah, plenty of awesome stuff behind the scenes. Audio, bloopers, contents of James's notebook from episode 1 to 100. We even host game nights sometimes with some of our patrons, current and former. We just we're always trying to find ways to give back to you. And once again, this is September. This is about when we start paying our hosting costs, and you've managed to help us put the funds away to secure that to pay our hosting costs for the year again. So kudos to all of y'all who've donated. I really deeply appreciate you. You've helped us keep us going, and keep it puts the wind in our sails. It truly does. We really appreciate it all. And if you like us, love us, really, really like us, Sally Field, and the whole deal, you will host your very own live streamed, because this is the age of pandemic, Hapless Heroes rave from your living room. You're going to put on whatever tunes you want to play and broadcast them to the world, while maybe remixing our episodes on top of it, so that it's Hapless Heroes with a twist. And we're all going to be dancing in our living rooms, or our dining rooms, or our bedrooms, or our offices, or wherever you're enjoying it from, and you will be the greatest DJ / podcast remixer the world has ever seen.
Yeah. Doable. Totally doable.
Absolutely
And
doable.
we would, we'd love it. Anyway, because we can't really go any further than that, and there's not much, there are no new horizons for me to drive this particular episode to. We're just gonna put it back in the garage, and we're gonna do so by outroing our cast, starting from my left with Arasatra, played by Phil.
We're gonna be here all day. What are we gonna do?
To his left, we have Lord and Captain Quinn Southwind, played by Mike.
These are the two things I hate the most: rats and automatons.
And to his left, we have Lord Jarrell the Light, played by John.
Phoenix, look at my sword.
And to his left, we have the fabulous Felix Fizzlebottom, played by Francesco.
That's super cool, but we need an exit plan now.
And my name is Dave, and I have been your host and Dungeon Master for this evening. It's so good to finally be back together as a group, getting on our main arc, and we are going to be so stoked to continue next week to see this one out. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Oh.
Bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.